All right, guys. So we're back here. We're back to the stream. Sorry for the interruption. I'm still trying to figure out here how to open up this to figure out to find the chat and these things in OBS. But bear with me and just give me 1 second here to do this. This will be done very quickly. But today we're going to see Sicilian defense. So FIDE Master Vuk Jagaratz and I have been working very hard on bringing to you a course of very high quality. And we have really been looking at some new ideas. We have really been digging very deep. And we have really been coming up with a lot of different ideas and so on that we will cater towards you guys. And what's very important, and I'll tell you that here, is that the Sicilian defense has been a thorn in the throat, a bone in the throat to many people. I know many of you guys have the Sicilian defense and have a lot of problems with the Sicilian defense. But you are not alone. I have also struggled with the Sicilian defense for a very long time. The Sicilian defense has been an enemy of mine. The Sicilian defense has been an opponent that I never liked to face. It has always been very annoying. I've always had to switch between opponents before I found the perfect opponent to defeat and combat the Sicilian defense. But today, all of that stops. Today, I'm going to show you guys my secret weapon against the Sicilian defense. We're going to be making a run on chess.com, defeating the Sicilian defense, showing you guys how to go. So we see we have some guys in the chat here. I'm going to address everything to you guys. So we're going to be continuing. So we have Vuk Jagaratz himself is in the chat. And he always has some positive message to say and all those things. So he already says he'll buy my course. So all right, someone says, rarely have I been so early. But welcome you, my friend. Welcome you. It's very happy to welcome everyone today. And I can't tell you enough how much today I discovered I actually enjoy streaming. Before, I always thought streaming was a stressful thing. But I've started to begin to enjoy this YouTube more and more. Because I like teaching people. I like bringing the word out there. And there's a lot of bad chess coaches out there. There's a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. And that's what we want to avoid. I remember now I'm an international master. Now I could smile. And now I could say that all is good, I'm a strong player, I'm titled player, I know this book and that book. But what about when I was just like you guys? What about when I was an amateur player too, who had the dream of becoming a title player? What happened when all these chess coaches scammed me? Some guy recommended me some wrong book. I remember I was playing a tournament in America. I believe it was the Chicago Open. And there would be these book vendors selling like 100 books. And they were really good books. But the thing about the book vendors, they would sell all these books and they would offer like the coaching services. But these guys were like 1,400 players. And at the time I was 1,800. And they would try to pitch themselves as this strong coach. And in chess, you could have a weak rating, but be a good coach. But that's not necessarily true. I mean, I agree, you can be an international master and coach a grandmaster, but you cannot be a 1,400 and be a good coach. So a 1,400 knows nothing about chess. They don't let these people fool you. The resources today in the chess world are deceiving people. They are fooling people. There's not enough clear information. Why can't everyone tell you, read this book, that book, the other book, and you become grandmaster? It must be true. There must be certain amount of knowledge that you have to have, that once you read some specific books, not a grand, but necessarily a title player, that must be true. But no one will say, read this book, that book, the other book, title. That's strange because there's too much information. The problem before was that there was too little information. But I argue today's a worse problem. There's too much information. Always some new courses coming out. Always something new is coming out. And most of it is just bad. Most of it is there to trick us, to fool us. But we are smart. We are not naive and gullible. And we have the right coach to lead us in the right direction. I love a good course. I have many books and courses that I praise, I stand by, and I truly believe they were very good written works. Some of my favorite books, for example, The Art of Combinational Play by Maxime Bloch. Now I could say, beautiful book. That book has all these combinations in it. The Art of Combinational Play is a book you must read if you want to go to the next level. That's my book for tactics. My book for positional play, Jacob Agard, I love his Grandmaster Preparation series books. Dvoretsky has some good books. I heard that Arthur Yusupov has a good collection. You guys could tell me what are some of your favorite chess books. I also like Endgame Strategy by Mikhail Shereshevsky. But I can't tell you how many books I read. And after I read them, I was like, I just wasted time in my life. Oh my lord. Do you know what it is to read a bad chess book? It hurts your chest. You have to unlearn all that garbage that you put in your head. We should be putting in good information in our head. We should not be feeding our brain with bad information. And I like good material. I like good books. And that's why I'm here to guide you. I have been through. I'm from the small island of Trinidad and Tobago where there's no chess culture. I'm the highest rated player. There's some FIDE masters, but there's no system of chess. And I had to find out the hard way. I had bad coaches. I had awful coaches who just took my money, didn't give me any good lessons, and I just felt very awful and bad because after I spent all my money to one coach, I had no money for another one. I read bad chess books and was like, Lord, thinking it was a good book. But then after I read what a good chess book is, I learned so much more and improved quicker. So that's why today there are many horrible courses on every chess website. That is what I'm going to tell you. There's no chess website where every course is good, but I am here to pave the way, to guide the way, and to show you the best weapon against the Sicilian defense. Now, let's get right into it. Enough talking. I know everyone is saying, Alan-Safar, show me the way, show me the way. What is the move? But I am here to show you the move. And the move is right. Come, let's get right into it. Okay, so more people can wait. But I told everyone, I said, 7 p.m. CET time, this is going to be the stream. And you guys who are here watching now are here and ready to see the move. Whoever's not here, that is their problem. They will see later. But you guys are early. You guys are the early birds. And you gotta get the early bird gets the early worm. So let's get right into things here. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so we're going to be playing some blitz tonight. But before that, I'm showing you pawn to e4 here. And when black plays the Sicilian defense, now everyone argues you should play the open Sicilian. But guys, after knight f3, the amount of theory you have to know here. And honestly, there's so many new developments for black. Black could play d6. And in d6, after pawn d4, cd4, knight d4, he has knight f6. After knight c3, he can play the Najdorf variation. Well respected, very solid. If anyone tells you they have found an advantage against the Najdorf or something like they are lying. Pawn to e5 is actually was played by Hikaru Nakamura against Fabiano Caruana in a US championship, and Grandmaster Nakamura held a draw without too much issues. And Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana is known to know all his lines like that, like a computer. Pawn to g6, the normal dragon is also is hard. And that's in d6. There's also e6. And now after d4, cd4, knight d4, here black could play knight c6. He could play a6. He could play knight f6 here, knight c3. And here he could play the Scheveningen and d6. He could play knight c6, the 4 knight Sicilian. Also bishop b4 is a move. You have to remember all of this. And also, instead of e6, there's also this line in the Mzoic Sicilian is not so stupid. It's actually gained a bit of popularity. And instead of knight f6, first of all, here, this is, if you analyze this with the computer, black would actually be doing fine here. There's also knight c6. After you play d4, cd4, knight d4. There's Kalashnikov. There's knight f6, knight c3. A black could play d6, e5. Also g6 is possible here. This is crazy to me. I cannot believe that idea. Why would someone learn so much theory on only one opponent? I know most of you guys. I know the story. You don't need to explain it to me. A lot of you guys here do other things other than chess. And believe me, to do only chess, you could get like Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer wasn't too right in his head. And that's because he was only doing chess. So most of you guys, I understand. You go to work, you have to have school, and you honestly don't have unlimited time just to study what to do against Sicilian. So I took that into consideration. When I was working on my next chessable course, I wanted to give something I play. I'm not going to give you some random line and say, play this. I'm going to give you what I play. First class experience. Something I played. Not only just one game I played it and said, here you go. This is something I'm playing my whole chess career, which is the move knight to c3. Now tell me how many of you guys play this move. But why do we have anyone here who plays knight c3? Let's see who plays knight c3. So I have some people I know in the chat. Who plays knight c3 here? Does anyone play knight c3? No one plays who plays knight c3 here? Vuk, do you play knight c3? Stefan, do you play knight c3? I don't know. I am not hearing anything from you guys. So I mean, you guys probably don't know about the power of the move knight to c3. So let me get into more details here. So after knight c3, black already is a bit limited actually. First of all, he cannot play knight f6 because we play pawn to e5, and then there's knight on f6. Has to just go back. Go from him. So here, black now has another couple options. Now, knight to c6, he would just smile when you see this move. Because here I recommend bishop to b5. And now I want to take his knight on c6 and double his pawns. And that's not so good for black. And I analyze that in my course, because we'll see that those double pawns, while he's able to take, for example, after g6 here. Now imagine a lot of your opponents could play like this, and it's already a sort of mistake. But imagine they play g6, you take him, bc6, d3. And we have a very simple plan in these structures here. My plan is f4, knight f3, castles kingside, queen e1, queen h4, f5, move my bishop to h6, and give him some checkmate. Simple as that. So basically, after knight c3, knight c6, bishop b5, he has to play the move knight d4. And I remember I used to play knight f3. I used to play this years ago. And I remember there was a big hype about this with white. Everyone was claiming they found some new idea. There was these courses on this knight f3 move. But those people honestly stole my idea. I was playing this move since 2019. And all those courses were published in like 2020, 2021. So they stole my idea. This was my idea. You can check in the database here of my games, how many games I had in this position. I have countless games in this position. Those courses, and those people who made the courses have not played this move as much as me. But for this course, for my upcoming chessable course, I do not recommend the move knight f3. Why? Why, Alan-Safar, do you not recommend that move knight f3? Now that's a very good question. Now the thing is, why I don't recommend the move knight f3 is because after years of experience, I became to realize that the move knight f3 actually is not the move that I want to play anymore, because people have prepared against it. There are many ways for black to get an equal position. The simplest way is a6. And now the bishop doesn't have such a good square. If it goes to c4, e6, And black was found to have good counterplay with knight f6, moves like queen c7 come in. So after a6, white tried bishop d3. His idea is to take on d4, play knight e2. But here black has e6, and after white castles, so white now wants to play knight d4, cd4, knight e2, and pawn to c3. And then he's basically undermining the black center. But black here found a powerful move, knight c6. And here, honestly, there are many tries. I, in my own practice, played e5. I played this funny looking move, knight d5. I played b3. After rook e1, it's funny, but black actually has strong move g5. And the idea is that g4 already would trap the white knight, and g5 is strong here. Very unexpected move. So basically, after this calm retreat, knight c6, black is fine. There's some tricky tries like a3 with a pawn sacrifice, b4, and trust me, I tried all of this, but black is doing fine. So I sat down with my co-author of the course, FIDE master Vuk Shagaratz, and we were thinking very hard. We were thinking, what's a new move here? And believe me, we looked at every move here. We even looked at this move, bishop back to e2. But then we realized that none of those moves actually led to anything. But then we saw one move. And when we saw that move, we were like, what? This move looks very strange. How could it work? But the more and more we analyzed the move, and then I told Vuk, let's sit down and play some blitz games in this line. And Vuk is a strong FIDE master. And when I played with the black side, I got into some trouble. He was making an advantage in almost every game. And when I played with the white side, he was also in trouble. And we were like, this line is actually not so easy for black to handle. And we sat down a few days, we checked it with the engines. We went through the strongest cloud server engines, we were checking the lines, we checked it in the database, and we also realized it's a very rare option. It has been played before, but it's very rare. And we found a lot of new ideas in the system. And then what happened was, do you think that I just found a new move I never played and just went out and made a course? That's not what happened. I then went on and I played a lot of games in this line in my own tournament play, and I won international masters. I had some draw with some grandmasters, but in every game I had an advantage in the opening, and that was very important here. So the main idea is pawn to a4. And one of the critical ideas is that if black takes, simply I recapture. And my rook already is in the game. This pawn on b5 gains a lot of space. And then I quickly play moves like d4. And I have a huge development lead. And black is not doing too well here. And other than that, the whole point is a4 is actually a useful move. Because after a6, now I play bishop c4. And I stopped him going pawn to b5. So a4 is kind of a useful move. And I'll just show the main line here. So black plays e6. d3 I play. So why I like this is it's very simple. We always play d3, open our bishop. Black has several options here, like knight e7, knight f6, we covered. And I play simple, play knight f3. So if black plays a move like d6, I already believe I want to take here, and I play knight e2. And already he has to see what to do this pawn on d4, and white's play straightforward, he castles. Sometimes he undermines the pawn with c3. Sometimes I have f4 ideas. But usually black has a problem with this pawn on d4 in the center. So instead of d6, black usually plays pawn to d5. And here I make an uncomfortable move. I play bishop a2. And now black has a tricky situation because there's this unpleasant tension in the center here. It's very unpleasant. And bishop to e7, you could argue, is the most natural move. But already here, after knight d4, cd4, knight e2, this is already very uncomfortable for black. What is he going to do? This d4 pawn is very weak. I just want to castle, and this pawn is weak. Black here has to already find a very strange move. After knight f3, queen f3, again he has a problem here. And if he releases the tension like this, my knight is coming to g3, and I'll have a lot of kingside prospects here. I'll castle, I have knight h5, maybe bishop g5. We analyze this. So black has to find this awkward move, knight back to c6, which is similar to the idea we saw in another version that I did not want to recommend with white. But here I actually began to like this position. I don't want to go into too much details because I'm saving this for you guys in the course. But basically, I like this position. Why? Because black has to solve what to do with the c8 bishop. And that's not such an easy question. And there's this unpleasant tension in the center. Black has to think when he wants to play d4, if he wants to take on e4. And my bishop on e2, you may laugh and think it looks bad. But idea in a lot of lines is bishop b1, knight e2, c3, and then my bishop all of a sudden will point at your king. And if you don't believe this, in my course, I make a very good case for it. But I don't want to spoil it for the future buyers of the course and show all of my lines here. I'm just giving you guys a nice preview. So that was my nice a4 idea. If g6 is actually what I found to be the most natural move, and a lot of people played it against me. And when a lot of people played that against me, I was very happy because I know that this g6 line is very easy for white to play. Has no problems at all. And let me tell you how the play continues here. So the play usually continues with pawn to d3. Again, the standard move. And again, black always has a problem to take here. Because white has very simple play. When he has his pawn on b5, bishop e3 is coming. Perhaps some queen d2, but let's see a sample line. So let's say bishop g7. Here I play bishop e3. For example, let's say d6. And I could play in the most simple way. I'm giving you just a sample line, knight f6, castle, castles, a3. This pawn on b5 is always very unpleasant. White has open a file, clear target, and here he simply can play queen d2, trade off his dark squared bishop, and white has a pleasant risk-free advantage. There was a game I played at International Master that I won very convincingly. He played here, I believe it was bishop g7. I played knight f3. Very simple chess. And after pawn e6, my idea was pawn to a5. What's going on here, Alan? What's going on? The idea of pawn to a5 is that, first of all, after a6, I have to retreat square to a4. But the whole idea is that if knight e7, I have to move bishop f4. I'm eyeing the d6 square. And now this all of a sudden is not easy. How can he stop my bishop coming to d6? Because here he has the spin. And he has a lot of big problems to solve here. A lot of people played queen c7 in practice. But actually after they move bishop e4, they face serious issues. And I won an international master here from Germany because I want to take and play knight b5 here. So this was my very interesting idea. Pawn to a5 here, and I go into more analysis in my course. I don't want to reveal everything here, but I'm telling you, bishop b5, knight d4, a4, I was very happy of. I'll just give you a short preview. Against d6, I was very happy with bishop b5 as well. If knight d7, I really like here. I had generally a couple of ideas in this position, but generally what I liked the most was simply bishop to e2. The idea is that this knight on d7 is misplaced. And here I simply want to go f4, knight f3, castles, and I play like a Grand Prix attack, but his knight is misplaced. If bishop d7, I have a secret idea for you guys here. Not so much a secret, but it's rare ideas. Now in chess, it's very hard to find something that no one played. It's good to find like rare ideas that few people played, but it's rare to find something that no one played. So there are always some games in the database, but it's much rarer compared to the main lines. So I don't want too much detail. And after e6, I really like this move d4, cd4, and queen d4. And I go into these positions in depth here. I believe I have a very interesting case. And against g6, again, d4, queen d4. After knight f6, I like the move bishop e3. And we go queen d2, f3. And we castle down here and get a good version of the dragon. Against a6, I believe it's like a waste of a tempo here. What is black just doing moving his pawn? And I believe in the open Sicilian, a6 makes sense. But in the closed Sicilian like g3, a6 doesn't make too much sense. Why? Because, we generally go bishop g2 and a6. It's a useful move, but it's not as useful as a move as knight c6 in these g3 lines. Because usually against a move g3, like let's say knight c6, g3, black has a very easy game after g6, bishop g7. You'll never see him playing a6. So that's why here after a6, I really like the move g3. And we go into detail here of this in the course, and bishop g2 and whatever black does, he's basically an assistant, but he has the move a6 in. So white is doing very well there. So all right, so that was basically, I showed you guys a preview of my Sicilian repertoire. So now what I want to do, we're gonna start playing. So all right, some guys said start playing. Let's go. So if anyone wants to send me a challenge, you could go ahead. But for now, I'm starting the games. Let's see who's the victim of the day. All right, so we're searching for a challenge. Let me get some water there. Water is the best friend of every chess player. All right. So you see, no one wants to play me here. All right, so we're playing against someone from Belgium. All right, let's see if he plays this Sicilian. Let's play this. Man, he played the French. Never mind. Let me show you how we destroy the French. So I have a pawn at d4. I like to play the advanced variation, pawn t5, as Nemjos said. He's attacking my center. I solidly defend it. He plays the move pawn to f6. I believe it's a bit premature. Play knight f3 here. And he develops queen b6. And here I would just want to go ahead with bishop d3 castle and finish my development very quickly. But I don't know, this move f6 is a bit premature here. And now I want to see how I could continue here. Can I punish this move f6? So I'm thinking taking on d4, on c5, then playing b4. But then it would weaken a bit of my grip on the pawn, on this control in the center. Should I take on f6? So it's a good question. Now developing moves always come into consideration. Some knight d2, some rook e1 is usually a good control move. Rook e1 I like, is a kind of standard move, lining up on the e file. He castles queenside here. It's a bit strange, honestly. Here I can try to move a4. Yeah, I can try to move a4, trying to start something on the queen side. I mean, if he wants to take the d4 pawn, let him go ahead. Okay, you go ahead. His king is open on the c file. So I don't think that'll be a wise idea to just take the pawn. Black is... Okay, he took the pawn. I believe I can simply take. I leave his queen in a funny position. And I should be able to play bishop e3 here and simply go after his queen. That's one option. Let's do that. I don't see any way to win his queen immediately. That's why I'll go bishop e3. So, right. Let's see what he's going to do here. He's going to move his queen. Alright, so he's thinking if he takes the pawn on b2, that should be some sort of... Alright, he takes on e5. To me, this is a bit strange. I could take this pawn on a7. I'm attacking his queen. His king now is a bit short of squares. So I definitely have to use the c file to stir something up. His queen is under attack. He'll likely retreat. I need to get my knight out. I can't be playing with only a couple of pieces. I need to bring out the full legion of troops. He takes his pawn here. I mean, alright. You can do what you want to do. He has his free will, free choice. Now let's see how I'll beat this guy. Split knight d2. I play knight on c3 because he can't take because of rook c1. Knight d2 is very simple. You know, a coach of mine always used to say, when there's a simple move, why should you play? Why should you overcomplicate the position? And now here I'll play bishop b5. I'll offer him this pawn because if he takes it, it's again opening up my rook. So things are getting a little bit interesting here. Let's see what he's gonna do. He plays bishop b4, so he's attacking my knight on d2. Well, I think he definitely wants to take it. The guy has one of the worst of intentions. Rook e2 would be like a nice sly move. I would say I honestly lean towards this move. My rook is looking at his queen indirectly. I don't think he wants to take on d2. I have some threats of moving my knight, making a discovery. Alright, he takes, so I believe I can capture here. He takes as well, and the guy looks like he wants to honestly take that pawn on b5. Now, what I'm thinking about here is, can I play the move in between move rook b1? But I don't need to think so long, honestly. Let's just get the job done. Play fast and effective chess. Play rook b1. Going after him. No mercy. Play bishop b6. Alright, we're going after his king. Yeah, he has some trouble developing all of his troops. I'll give him check here with the rook. Now I have to be a bit quicker here. That's definitely a must. Let's come down here with check. King goes. Let's have to move my bishop. Is under attack. Probably have some mate, but I don't have that much time to piece everything together. Yeah, the position has gone. Rook c6 he can play. So a bit unpleasant move. Rook c6. I play rook c8 check. Take this. And I'll play queen g4. Going out from the other side. I have to watch my backer hang in case if he has any slide tricks or anything like that. Alright, so let's see what is his plan. He's up a couple of pawns, he's up 3, but again his development is not too good and he doesn't have an easy way to develop. So again the guy is being sly. Let me give him a check. This is with check. His nose is knight and then play rook e1. So his rook is hanging. Alright, take this. What sneaky guy. Bishop a5. Defending my rook. Wanting to take his queen. Could be a big move. Play bishop b4, attacking his knight now. I need to play faster here. Take this. Make some space for my king, h4. h5. And get my rook to c1. I want to counter attack his king. Queen e5. Queen is good in the center. Let me try to win this pawn. Let me try to trade queens here. If I trade the queens, his pawn falls. Play g4. I have blunders a pawn. Take this. Okay, I'm messing this one up. Not too good. Yeah. I'm playing like a patzer here, guys. I'll be honest. What am I doing? Very stupid play. Very. Alright, this is lost. Forget this. Live to fight another day. Alright, I believe we were completely winning there. We messed that up. He swindled that. He swindled that. Let's see what went on. Some FIDE master sent me a challenge. I'll accept it. All right. So let's get him here. Let's see what this guy's gonna play. Let's play pawn d4. So it's 3 minutes without any increment. So I have to play fast here. So you guys may not hear me talking too much. Okay. The guy wants to embarrass me in my own system. What's he doing? I mean, this can't be too good. I think the guy wants to make a model game for me here. It's plain strange. What's this? Knight. Playing some strange chess, guys. What is this? What is this FIDE master doing, guys? Can I just play b6 here? I want to play knight c7. What's going on here, guys? Do I not just get his rook? Knight c7 check. I take here. This is a strange game. The guy clearly was confused by the slow and steady. And now he's just trying to flag me or something. Alright, let's just focus here, guys. And bring home the win. His king is bad. I'm up a rook. I mean, I won't be too overconfident here. Yeah, I don't like his knight. We need to get rid of that knight. Let me play c3. I just want to simply play b3, I mean. Okay, let me just simply... Okay, I'll take this. I'll play queen a4. I don't see what he's doing. Okay, I'll move my knight. I mean, what do you want? Take the pawn on the next move. Of the whole chessboard. He wants to play bishop b7 next. Okay. Let's play queen a7. Not allow that. Play knight c2 and knight b4. Get rid of his strong knight. He wants to make some weaknesses. I'm just throwing trade queens here. I don't understand what the guy is doing. And take here. And we won. We got him there. We got him. Very good, guys. So that's the power of the slow and steady Sicilian. We played him the a4 line. And we managed to get the game done. I need to definitely check out how we got that FIDE master. Easy game. Let's check out. So we just beat a FIDE master very easily. We won a rook very quickly. Let's see how I defeat that FIDE master. Let's look how the game went. So I played my move pawn to a4, debuting my dangerous idea. The FIDE master took. I took a takes b5. He played g6. And the thing is, I told you guys, the whole point of the move pawn to a4, one of the main ideas, first of all, the move is very useful because when black plays a6, we go back bishop c4, and already the move a4 stops b5. So a4 is like a useful move anyways. However, if black thinks, oh, I love bishops, and when I was in class, bishops were better. But let me tell you something, guys. He took here. And what happened to him? What happened to him? You remember when you were kids and you're behaving bad, parents would bring you out. And what they would do? That's what happened to the speedy master. We got him. We gave him a good beating. So let's see how we gave him a good beating. All right. So the guy played. He played. He played here. G6. But look at this. I have my knight out. My rook out. Strong pawn on b5. And black, he didn't develop anything. Chess. Chess. What are these people playing chess like this? He plays g6. He thinks he's going to go bishop g7. Bring his knight out. Nice, calm, dragon. And he took my bishop. So he's very happy. He was smiling. But here, pawn to d4. Pawn to d4. Take. He didn't want to take. If he takes, queen d4. Now he's rook in the corners and some problems. Now he plays a move like knight f6, e5 comes, and then, oh lord, where's he going to move his knight? So he played queen c7. Some sense logical, holding on. It's a blitz game. He's trying to play fast. And now I play knight d5. And all of a sudden, after queen d8, pawn to b6, he realizes he cannot take. So his rook. And knight c7 is a big threat here. And okay, I won his rook, he couldn't do anything. With knight c7 is going to be like a mate threat. I mean, oh lord, only 8 moves. And the position is completely lost. Is that how strong the Sicilian defense is? Is that the mighty Sicilian defense that you guys know and love? Is this looking mighty to you guys? To me, not at all. So let me tell you how the game proceeded. Bishop g7, and I simply took his rook. And I went on to win the game. Okay, it's blitz, so we had some sort of fight. But basically, I won without too much issues. So let's continue playing. So remember, you guys can send me a challenge. You guys could send me a challenge. So someone here sends me a rematch, okay? So the FIDE master, he's unhappy. So let's go. So now I'm with the black pieces. He's coming for his vengeance. d4. What's this guy doing? Bishop f4. Huh. What's this? The London system? Huh. Play pawn to c5. Play c3 and I take a on d4. I play knight to c6. Knight f3, and here I like to move bishop f5. Simply developing my queen side. Then here I can bishop. Very interesting move, honestly. I'm thinking of some very rare idea to do. Let's play logical. Let's play e6. Let's see what was his idea against some logical chess. Simple developing chess. Okay. And now let me play bishop d6. One then trade his London bishop. And here I play knight e7 and I want to simply castle. No big deal, no big issues. c4 he plays. I think I can take on c4, honestly, guys. To be honest, I think I could take on c4. Well, why not? I don't see this as a big problem. And then I just want to castle on the next move. I think I'm doing okay here. He has some small counterplay. He's attacking my bishop and so on. He's playing active. Let's play bishop c7. Keep my bishop here on the board. And next I maybe want to play rook c8. a6, okay. Play bc6. Maybe I can take with the knight, actually. Knight. Take with the bishop. Yes, play bishop. I like this move. So he has to take my bishop on c7 now. And then I could play rook fd8. I could actually maybe play c5 too, but let's keep his weakness here. Anyways, I need to play faster, guys. I'm talking too much. Talking too much. Play c5. He has a pin. Now he probably will move his knight. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see where can I move. If I play rook d4, he can play queen d4. If I play queen b6, I like queen b7 actually. I like this move. Because now rook c5 is not with tempo. I can take on b2. I'm attacking d4. a2 also. So let's see how we could play faster here, putting some pressure. Aha! f7 is putting pressure on. What kind? Let me play rook d4. Counter attacking. Let's play bishop g6. Queen f3 plays. I'm gonna take his bishop. Let's take his bishop. Oh, oi. My rook! Oh no! We got mated here, guys. He got his revenge. He got his revenge. I'll check what happened there. I will definitely check what went on in that game. Something was off. Something was off. He got me there. The London system defeated me. So, guys, remember if you have any questions, if you have any questions, any things you need to be answered, remember, guys, I am here. I am here. But let's check what happened in that game. It's very interesting. So all this bishop b5 is a relatively new move in the London system. It's not the first time I'm seeing it. After e6, castles, bishop d6, knight e5 to me was a bit strange. And yeah, definitely c4. Aha! I missed something here. Let's see what that could have been. So after dc4, he played knight d2 and here I castled. F6 was actually very strong. He can't move his knight without his bishop. And he takes here, I simply play b takes. And then he has both bishops are hanging and not enough time to consolidate. I castled, he took. Bishop c7 was alright. Bishop e5 also is good. And here this was better for me, I knew. c5 was a bit rushed. I should have first played rook b8 and so on. And this position is also okay. Queen h5, I should have played knight g6. But after queen f3 here, I don't know what went into my mind here. I forgot my rook was hanging. I played knight d5 here simply. He doesn't have this knight f7. I can first of all take this. Taking his rook also is possible actually. And here is rook f7. I again could take here and there's no mate. So knight d5 would have worked. Huh. But it happens, Blitz is very fast paced. We make blunders. We overlook some moves. So alright guys, before we go to the next game, does anyone have any questions that needs answering? You all drop some questions in the chat. Does anyone want any book recommendations? Does anyone want to know anything about the Sicilian? Has anyone dreamed about asking an international master a question? Has anyone dreamed about asking me a question? Drop in the chat some questions you guys have. And then we move on to the next game. We'll continue accepting challenges. So, alright. Which of you guys have some questions here? Does anyone have some questions? If not, we're going to move on to another game. I got a challenge here. I'm going to double check. So you guys don't have any questions. That means you guys love chess too much. You'll just want to see me play more games. Very well. So accept the challenge. And this guy sent me again. So let's again go pawn d4. 3-minute chess. No time to be thinking too much. All right, let's go c5, knight c3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight e4, pawn to e4, signature move, a6, bishop c4, going back here. I want to play, okay, g6, d3, opening my bishop, knight f3, attacking the knight, e6, he plays. And the move here was take on d4, cd4, knight e2. Again, we're playing against these pawns, and now we play bishop b3, running away from d5. So he plays d5 here, and we play f3. We build a triangle in the center, which proves to be very annoying for black. So if he takes a recapture, and he opens the f file, basically. Okay, castle here. Plays f5 is a very strange move, honestly. It's very weird. Huh. Can I play bishop g5 here is a good question. Takes. It's a strange move, this f5. Looks very weakening. So I play bishop g5 with the idea that I want to get his knight and undermine this d5 pawn. f5. It's a very weird decision. h6. Okay, let me take here and I take this pawn. I don't have anything to discuss. Bishop e6. Probably it's a smart move. Okay, I'll take it now up a pawn, but my position isn't risk-free. So let me try with caution. Let's move my king first. Pawn to f4. Perhaps I could play to stop any of his kingside. Any possible kingside onslaught. And then I'd like to transform a knight. Could play knight to g1. Rook f2. Defending c2. Now I'm putting knight on f3. Yeah, put knight on f3. Queen c8, the guy is doubling. Rook c1, I believe I could play. And now, slowly, I need to see how to convert this advantage. Let's play rook e2, taking control of the e file. b4, he's playing, he wants it. We gotta play b3. He plants his rook on c3. Rook takes b3 is a threat. Huh. It's an annoying move to face, honestly. But let's play queen e1. Rook e8 check is my idea. If not that, I believe. Can I play rook? Can I play rook e8 anyways? Maybe I can try queen h4. Going after his king. Could be possible. Knight g5 would be mate. Let's still try knight g5. He'll probably move the pawn h5. And now how am I gonna finish this? Stay the pawn on d4. Threatening mate on h8. Let's play queen d8, threatening rook h8 mate. Let's see if we'll get him. So does he have any way to stay in the game? Or is rook h8 just gonna be mate? Okay, is he not getting queen f8 is not mate? Wait, not him. So again, it's slow and steady. Pawn to a4 prevails. Let's see what happened in the game. So here d3 was played, bishop g7, knight f3, and e6. Another thing about this e6 is black wants to play knight e7 and d5. And this is not so pleasant for white, and especially if you don't know what to do, you could get into some problems easily. So after knight e7 and d5, bishop moves, and then there's problems with the central pawn on d5. There's a lot of tension over there. Now here, the problem is with a lot of people, why they don't want to play this with white was to see the bishop on c4. and I think that it has problems with the pawn, looking at the pawn on e6. But look what happened in this game. So we play pawn to a4, and we already had a game where black took a b5, and black lost very easily. So here black tried putting the pawn on g6, and now after d3. So again, white strategy is simple. I put my pawn on d3 in almost every line. Why? It's a simple consolidating move. Consolidates my center. Then I want to bring on my knight to f3. I want a castle, and then see what's going on. And the problem, like black jumps knight d4, bishop, sorry, a4. And the thing is, do you ever see like look such an invasion of a knight early on in the game? Black's knight is in uninvited territory. He's in our territory. He's in our side of the board. So he better watch out. a6, bishop c4, g6, d3, bishop g7, knight f3. So already black has a question. Because when I take on d4, how is he going to take? If he takes with the pawn, then he has these double pawns. As we saw what happened in the game. So I took knight e2. After knight e7, I first play bishop b3. Because I don't want to run into d5. Anyways, the bishop has to go here. And black played d5. It's very interesting. If black plays castle, say it's actually a mistake. Because here the move pawn h4 is actually very strong. So the move bishop b3 is a very sly, subtle move. And it's setting up a very nice trap. Because again, the idea is after bishop b3, black cannot do this castle's normal move. Because after h4, already he's getting on attack with h5. And after, if black plays h5, we have g4. H4 and knight g3, and now h5 is coming. Black is in deep trouble here. So black played d5, and I just play simply f3. Looks at first you mean like, what kind of chess is this? But I am playing fighting chess. We have this pawn triangle here, and black now doesn't know what to do. Again, his problem, where to put the c8 bishop. Our bishop here looks bad, but creates a lot of tension in the center. So black castle, and he played this move f5. Which on the surface looked a bit strange. I tried out bishop g5, and again I'm putting some pressure on the black center here. Black played h6, and I mean it was hard to suggest something else, and I took the pawn, and black here was counting on that he has more space down a pawn, so maybe he could hold a draw. Here I tried king h1. I played f4 because I didn't want to allow, him to cramp me more with some g5 or something. And then I had an idea to remaneuver my knight, defend like this, and then I came down here and we gave him mate. Very well. Slow and steady Sicilian is working. You see with white, we're always getting very good positions. And now let's go to another game. Let's see if any one of you guys wants to send a challenge. Does anyone want to send me a challenge? If not, we'll search a game here. So does anyone have any questions? Any Q and A? Does any people have put in supportive comments, but I'm not seeing you all don't have too many questions. All right. So Joker Man is asking me, do you tell your training in your chessable course? Like what training you did to get to 2000, then 2200, then 2400. Well, if you're talking about depends which course. I have different chessable courses. But my course, how I became an international master, I wrote that course a long time ago. It was written, I'm an international master for a long time. That course was written, I believe, was more than 3 years ago. And what that course is how I became an international master. And it's as simple as it is. I do say what I did for my training to each step. I actually do that. And the chapters in the course are labeled out. One chapter is called, for example, from candidate master to FIDE master, from FIDE master to IM. So basically what I do in that course, I also have from like club player to candidate master, and from patzer to club player. So I annotate my games and present a lot of puzzles at all my different levels in my chess career. And I basically say what I did to get better. And also you see the difference. You see the difference in all my games at the different stages. Like you see the difference when I was a patzer, when I couldn't play chess well. You see the kind of mistakes I'm making. But then you see when I'm a candidate master already, something is different already. I'm doing something better. And then when I'm a FIDE master, something improved. And then when I won the international master, you see different traits. But I can give you more insight here. Honestly, if you want to know now, I could tell you what's the training to do. Drew, tell me what's your rating. Tell me, you could drop in the chat what's your rating, what's your goal, and I could give you my advice here for free, man. Just drop in the chat quickly. What's your rating, Mr. Joker, man? What's your goal? And I could give you my advice here as an international master. Then I'll continue playing. Because training is not so easy as it used to be, guys. Now, guys, before, I'm jealous of one of my former coaches because what he used to say, he became a grandmaster and he had only a few books. Like there was this grandmaster, I don't know, many of you guys probably won't know him. He's this grandmaster Ibru Saric from Bosnia. He was one of my former coaches. He doesn't play too much active chess. He's a solid 2500, but he came from a small village and he became a grandmaster just by reading a couple of books. Now you're 1800 and you want to get a 2400. Now what I would do, the best skill in chess is calculation. So I would focus on doing some calculation. What books I would recommend? I always preach The Art of Combinational Play by Maxime Bloch. It's a rare book. You can still find it online. You probably can't get the physical copy. It has 1,000 puzzles on all different kinds of combinational motifs. It basically explains every possible tactic. I'm happy you're 1800 because I actually began that book when I was 1800 and I immediately saw progress to 2100. So I will get that book, The Art of Combinational Play by Maxime Bloch, and I would finish that book. I would finish that and finish it like 6 times. I did that book so many times, but that's very important for tactical pattern recognition. That's the first thing I'll do. The second thing I'll do, I want to improve my general calculation. So not only I would want to be sharp in tactics, but I want to practice like how I calculate lines. If I see well, if I, for example, make any mistakes in evaluations during my lines. Now you're 1800, so I won't. Now the problem, a lot of coaches may advise you some very hard books, and I don't think if you're 1800 you should do puzzles that are for grandmasters. Because then, even sometimes, like I know for me, there are some puzzles that would give even Carlson trouble. Now I could solve it, but it would take me like 1 hour or something, and I could do so much more in 1 hour. So I don't think you should solve any of like crazy, impossible puzzles. You could find some practical chess puzzle books. I remember there was one puzzle, there's like this puzzle series, this chess publishing company. I don't know if it's still around. It's called like Chess Evolution, and they always publish like it's called books are called Practical Chess Puzzles. And basically all of the puzzles are from like practical games from tournament grandmaster play, and they made puzzles with like real life tournament situation, and you have to calculate. For positional chess, I would work on, I really like Jacob Agad's book on the Grandmaster series. Now 1800, so yeah, I'm thinking it might be a little bit difficult to comprehend. The woodpecker method on positional play might be, I think that one would be very helpful for you, honestly. I think that one could make a big difference for being a 1800. I didn't finish the book, but I did around 300 puzzles out of the 1,000. My impression was, for my level, the puzzles were not too useful, but I think for definitely anybody below 2200, it's a great book, The Woodpecker Book Method 2 for Positional Puzzles. An Endgame Strategy by Mikhail Shereshevsky. So by working on your calculation, your endgames, and positional play, I think you already make a huge amount of progress. And in terms of opponents, at 1800, I definitely don't think you need to be spending a lot of time on opponents. I think you don't need more than 1 hour a day to spend on opponents. Even you could even forget opponents. I mean, honestly, At that level, it doesn't make too much sense to work too much on opponents. The main part is calculation. Most people are like addicted to opponents because when you like learn an opponent, you can actually see the physical result. You can actually play the next day. But when you work on calculation, you work on tactics, you don't see the physical like reward from it. It's just like something mental that your brain is improving, and sometimes it takes time. So that's why everyone likes opponents so much. But I think at your level, even at my level, honestly, opponents are very important, but there's no need to have any heavy theory, some endless crazy computer lines. I like surprising lines that are rare. Not many people know. So when I played, they seen it for like the first time and they look very shocked. And I like thematic lines that are not hard to remember. I like lines that pack a punch, aggressive but human chess, nothing too crazy, surprising the opponent. And for my brain, I can remember it. So I don't have to review the file every every day. For example, for my recent course on the Sicilian, what I like about it is FIDE Master Vukjagarts and we worked on the course and we reviewed it a couple times and we don't have to check those files for months and we still remember the lines very easily because the moves come very natural and the thing about it is very rare also. So your opponents, when I had 8 classical games, all against like over 2,300 master players and everyone just didn't know the line and move three and they were sitting down looking at me like I'm a ghost or something. So that's my advice for you, Mr. Joker Man, how to get better. And I wish you good luck on your journey. 2,400 is a noble goal. It's a very big goal. It's not going to be too easy. I recommend you go step by step. All right. So, any more questions before we continue playing? Does anyone want any improvement tips, any opponent tips? Does anyone have any questions before we continue? Last chance. We're accepting questions for 1 more minute. So we had Mr. Jokerman had question. He was answered. He asked, and he received. It's very good for him. So last chance. 1 more minute, guys. Have any questions? Then I continue to another game. So all right. Does anyone have any questions? It could be what food should the chess player eat? Now that's actually a very important question. What food should chess players eat? That is very important because the brain is very, very, very particular. For example, I had a student and he tried a very stupid thing. If you eat like a beefsteak 20 minutes before you have to play a game, you'll be very sleepy and your brain will not be working. So food is actually very important in tournaments. Okay, but I see no one has any questions, so let's play, guys. Let's go. Cheers. I drink water. Because a real chess player does not drink alcohol. Alcohol is no need for that drink, guys. There's no need drink for any beer, any alcohol. Any chess players say they drink that in our real one. Real chess player drink some water. Let's go ahead. Play next game. All right. Let's see who's going to be the victim of the day. Playing a FIDE Master from Austria. Let's see what the guy. He wants to play G3. Okay, we play pawn to D5. Bishop G2. And let's play Knight F6. Playing very solid. And I play. So, as I told you guys, I like solid and simple chess. He's playing the Reti opening. Okay. So, I'll play Bishop E7. And I'll simply castle here. He plays C4 here. And I'll play D4. C4 is not such a popular move. They usually play Knight D2 and E4. C4 is not too much in trend. So now I'm going to play C5 and get my stake in the center. So A3 is clear. He wants to play some B4. Now I'm thinking, should I play C5 or does he want to meet that with some B4? Let me try A5 because now B4 it makes no sense. I take and his pawn is pinned. E3. Huh. Now the thing about C5 is I'm going to have his weak B5 square. And it's not going to look too great. Can I play Knight C6, ED4, Knight D4? I mean, I can try this. White perhaps is slightly better here, honestly. Queen D4, Bishop E3, I can take on B2. So Knight C3 he plays. Now he wants some knight b5 ideas I have to be aware of. c6, I could play the closest bishop. Could be smart, but then bishop e3 comes. If rook d8, I play attacking d3. I believe he has knight b5. And now knight b5, I can play queen b6, but then bishop e3, and my queen is staying very strangely. Maybe rook d8, knight b5, queen d7. And I want to play c6, kick his knight. This could be very interesting. Let me try this. Rook d8, knight b5, queen d7. That was knight b5, queen d3, rook d3, knight c7. It's not looking too good for me, honestly. Alright, guys, so I'll be playing a couple more games, accepting questions. And that'll be just a stream for today. I just wanted to do a stream today to show you guys a preview of my new weapon against the Sicilian. She's thinking here, which is good. I always like when my opponents think. That means I could, chill, even take a quick nap. Interesting. What is this? Please, cannot take this pawn. That's probably want some queen b3. What? Oh, oh. I missed that move. That's a good move. Queen d1. I should still be in the game, honestly. Let's take on e7. Rook d5, he plays cd5. I play king f8. Knight e7, king f8. I take the rook first. Take the rook. And I take his knight back. And after shenanigans, I'm still up a pawn. I mean, he has no mate. He doesn't have anything direct. Yeah, I have some weaknesses here. Knight e8 I could play, and this is looking it's looking solid for me. That was a smart move by him. Can I play rook a6? Yes, bishop f1. Rook a7 I could try with the idea b6. Then again, my rook's a bit trapped. Rook b8 I can try. Rook b8 with simply bishop d7 idea, bishop c6. Defending my pawn on b7. b6 is also an idea. Yeah, I don't like this too much, but let's play b6 simply. C b6. Take like this. Oh, and did I trap my own rook, man? That was just stupid. That was just stupid. I mean, I trapped my own rook. Guys, kind of moves I make sometimes. Very questionable. My head is lost here. We had a completely fine position. See what went on. The 95 was a brilliant move. So e3 was fine. I should have played c5. Yeah, 95 was brilliant, but black was still in the game. 98 was good. Rook b8 was good. b6 wasn't so well. Here, what should I have played? Here, I could have played a4. Hey, f6 was well with the idea e5. Yeah, I just blundered that my rook got trapped like this. Anyways, let's continue, guys. Happens. Even to the best of us. Blitz is basically blundering. I don't know, guys, do this banter blitz. To me, talking and playing is honestly not the easiest thing to do. Alright, I'm gonna play a couple more games, answer a couple more questions, and guys, that will be it for today. So let me play one more game, then I'll answer questions. And then that'll be it for today, guys. So, guys, if anyone has any questions, now is the time to drop it in. Now is the time to drop in your questions. Because now may be your last chance. So, guys, what questions do you all have for me? Drop it in. All right. Does anyone have anything to say? All right, I'll continue playing then. Everyone is shy, everyone's quiet. As I said, if any new viewers here, I'm asking you guys, we're going to play one more Blitz game, answer some questions, and that's going to be it for the day. So, if any of you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask. Do not be shy. Does anyone have any questions, any training tips, any opening recommendations they want from me? Now is the time to ask. If not, I'm going to play the last game, and then we're going to slowly end the stream. All right, well, no questions here. Let's continue the game. So let's see who we're going to play. All right. Aha. Playing a guy from Denmark. Let's hit him some pawn to e4. See, guy, aha, the guy plays Sicilian. Very good. And now I'm going to play my line pawn to d4. And the idea is I take back with the queen. And it's a very rare line. So black rarely knows how to respond to this. So a simple move. So knight f3. I'm developing bishop b4 is the best move here. That'll be covering the course. He plays d5 and already d5 is a bit of an accuracy. If I take like this, he has to take with the knight here. And then I play the move bishop d3. And already bishop e4, I want to attack his queen. And here I simply go bishop queen e2. And now already this is a bit tricky. And what was the move can I play? I believe bishop e4 can be played. And here I believe I have a tricky move pawn to g4. So the idea is that if he takes the pawn, I have bishop takes h7, and if king takes knight g5 check. Very easy to catch your opponent here in a tournament. Queen h3. Why not have knight g5 here? Let's see. I believe I do, guys. His queen is looking really. His queen is not looking too well, guys, honestly. So what happens if I play knight g5? Okay. So do I take on h7 with the bishop and then come back? I have to also watch out for my king. I have to see what's the best way to finish this. Knight f3, he will just go back and I didn't achieve. Guys, I'm just realizing I kind of have just played rook g1 here to trap his queen with rook g3. Queen h4. Knight h7, he may have some counterplay. Let's just take this. King moves. And let's move my bishop. Here I gave him too much counterplay. That's a big issue. Play bishop e4. King moves. Knight moves. Okay, I expected that. I'll be very careful in this position. Honestly, mess it up a bit. Knight f3, maybe I have to play. Knight e2, knight h4. Okay, I think I have to play this. If he takes my queen, I takes his. If he takes g4, take on d4. If I could take that knight on d4 in the next move, I should be completely fine. I honestly think I missed something big here. It definitely feels like that. After queen h3, perhaps rook g1 was the move. Nevertheless, position should be alright. Should be more than alright. Okay, let's take his queen. He takes the... of course, obliged. So, okay, I'm a pawn. I mean, bravo. I mean, things can't be that bad. Bishop e7. Let's move my knight. g2, f3, g2. f3, I like. If he plays f5, take, and move out of the way. Now I need to see where I'm going to put my king on e1. King doesn't have a clear shelter. His bishop on c8 also has some problems coming out. But he can play bishop d7 if I take. That's a strange move, honestly. His idea is if I take on e5, he wants to play some f6. Not f6, but like bishop f6. And the idea is when my knight moves, he's going to eat my pawn. Let's try rook g1 here. I actually like that he played that move. Because now my bishop has like a safe haven here. I would like to put my king on e2. I don't like bishop c4 check. Now I would take this. It's very risky, but let's just grab another pawn. Tell the guy to prove himself. Knight d3. I believe my king can go to d1. I could actually also play pawn f3 to defend my bishop if he comes on the e file. I like my knight on strange. Let's play g5. Kick his bishop. Mm-hmm. Hmm. King d2. Should I play? Let's play king d2. Get my king in the game. Um. Play rook g3. Rook g3 didn't make too much sense, honestly. Can go rook h3. Let's play rook e1. Then I'll probably play some f4. I'm gonna play f5. He can play g6. Then h4. Wanna catch him on the h file. My king is safe for now. Play h5. If he takes, I play f5. Good, I think I like this. Then f6 next. I could catch his king here without any big issues. Rook h1. This could be very dangerous for him. I don't want to play g6, but then he could take my strong pawn on f6. I wanna I have to watch my bishop. Takes, and rook. I think I can take this and then play rook h3. I'm not sure. Should be. Could be right. Could be a massive blunder. But if he takes on e4, rook h3, I'm not sure how he stops that mate. Bishop cannot play king d1. I want to give mate in 1 here. How is he going to stop that? What is he going to do? If he moves his bishop, I take his rook on e4. I take it, his bishop. Good ham up. A lot of material here. He's completely winning. And we got him. We got him. With the slow and steady knight c3 Sicilian. Alright. Let's see how that went. Not the cleanest game, to be honest. Not the cleanest game. But let's see what happened. So yeah, so we play this d4 line that I recommend in my upcoming course. And after cd4, queen d4, knight c6, queen e3. So the whole idea is that, first of all, it's going to confuse your opponents. Because I mean, probably most of you watching this have seen this line for the first time. And after knight c6, we play queen e3. He plays knight f6, and I like knight f3. So basically, we're playing on development and we're playing aggressive chess. So black already is limited of options. So when I choose an opening, I don't like to choose something where black has a lot of choice. I like to choose something where my opponent doesn't have too many good lines. So here basically, black can play bishop b4, best move. Already moves like a6, a bit dumb. Says I want to play e5 and his knight doesn't have convenient square. After knight g4, queen f4, knight is already in problems. He played very logical d5, which is actually not so good. And that's what I like about the knight c3 against Sicilian, is that the most natural moves are usually not the best moves. And here I took, and I played bishop d3. So again, this is like a French defense, but bishop on c, and black plays natural move, bishop to c5. I played queen e2, castles. Now the different moves here, you can play the calm move c3, just stopping the d4 square, and white is doing well. I played bishop b4, queen h5, and I like the move pawn to g4. But he can't take. One idea is bishop h7, king h7, knight g5. But here he can play king h8, and apparently, well, white is much better here. He comes back, bishop e4, king is not staying well. But even more winning would be the move simply rook g1. And now, where's his queen going? So queen h5, rook g5. Queen h6 can't be played, win his bishop. Queen h3, win his bishop. So that was, wow, look how early his queen is getting trapped. Queen h3, rook g3. And now, where is he gonna go? Again, he has to play queen h5 and rook g5. Here now, he played queen h3. Knight g5 I played. Perhaps in hindsight, c3 was a more sturdy move, leaving his queen vulnerable here, taking away this jumping square. He moved. Okay. And I came back bishop e4. White is better. Knight e4 he played. Queen c4 was apparently the best. I played more natural knight f3, trying to get rid of his knight. And here this endgame arose where I'm up a pawn. But he has the bishop there. And here I maneuvered. I like rook g1. And my bishop has a strong outpost on e4, where I believe that my play here was simple. I wanted to. The only problem I had to solve was what to do with my king, which, to be honest, was a valid problem. So here he played bishop e6. I took this pawn. Perhaps simpler was b3, not allowing him anything. And I came back to d3, which I really like the square for my knight, because it gave my king the very nice square on d2. Played bishop e6. I played rook g3. Wasn't the best move, but I had ideas f4, f5. Played rook e1, f4, h4. Aha! Yeah, in time trouble, I made this mistake here, bishop f2. And it's a fork because of the pin here. Could have played that. King g7, h5. Again, he could have played it, but I had 12 seconds here. Takes f5. And here I found rook h5. Brilliant move. Brilliant move. After rook e4, rook h3, and he had no way to escape the checkmate. So the slow and steady. Knight c3 Sicilian got him. After bishop e3, king d1. Took, and I moved out. He can't move his bishop. I took his rook, took his bishop. And that was it, my friends. That was the game over there. So alright guys, it's been a long stream. I'm slowly gonna close off. But for you guys, I'm accepting any final questions. So what do you guys want to know? Some guy earlier, he was asking what to study to get to the next level. So if anyone here has any questions, I'll be around for another few minutes. If not, slowly we'll close off the stream. So you guys type in the chat. Do you all have any questions? What will you all like to know? In terms of my general plans, now if all of you all who know me, I'm an international master and I'm on the road trying to become a grandmaster. It's not always an easy journey, I'll tell you. It's not always an easy journey. Especially going to tournaments these days is expensive. Going to tournaments these days is expensive. I tell you guys that. You know, and I'm married now and living abroad, so of course, paying the rent, paying all these expensive and bills is not easy. Traveling tournaments, when you travel that tournament to play, it's usually an expense. Usually only these top grandmasters, 2600 wins prizes, and I'm playing only for rating and trying to get a IM title. So yeah, that's why when someone buys a course of mine, I'm always truly happy because that's supporting me. That's supporting me directly to my family and on my journey to become a grandmaster. So every sale is very deeply appreciated. So you guys really could learn a lot from the course as well, and that also helps me in a big way. So yeah, in terms of what I'm doing, I'm trying to start balance studying some chess. Of course, providing for my family and working very hard. I have some new course ideas in mind. Going to be filming soon for the Sicilian course. And of course, on my YouTube, I try to stay active, put out content for you guys, bring out the best material. And all in all, I have to say that is an enjoyable experience. It's a very tough experience. For example, guys, did you all hear that there was a grandmaster at the European Club Chess Championship? He was playing a tournament and the ambulance had to come for him during the game. I don't want to say who, but that just says the stress of the game of chess. But you have to learn to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy chess, you shouldn't be playing it. And a lot of grandmasters and a lot of masters these days have lost just a genuine joy for chess. And I'll be honest, many times I lost it too. You lose a game, a tournament, you spend your money to go there, you had big expectations and you lose, and it's of course very upsetting. But chess is a very good hobby. A lot of people, especially in my country, a lot of people go to drugs, go to jail, go to crime, play some chess. And chess is a good hobby to help the mind. Calms down a lot of people. And it's a good game for the brain. And I always try to be a good ambassador for the game of chess. I think it's a very good game. It brings people together. Because I know this. Look at this. If you talk with another chess player, you already have that in common and have so many things to talk about. You can talk about openings, end games, any position, you immediately bond over this game of chess. And chess really connects people. The amount of friends that I have made traveling, playing in different tournaments. Really, chess has been, very well. Now, there's always the strange people in chess. Now, don't get it wrong. There's some people not good in the head. A lot of people playing chess. A lot of people like that. But most people, I wouldn't say most people, honestly. But a lot of people, very normal, genuine people, and chess is a good game. Chess is a good game. I like the game. I'm an ambassador of the game of chess. I know you guys, anyone who wants to get better at chess, you could ask me what advices you want. I will always tell you what book recommendations I have, what you should do. And I'm more than happy to give out those things. Because my goal here, I know when I was a kid growing up, I didn't have a proper coach. I didn't have no one told me what books to read. No one told me to do this and do that to get better. I had to figure out everything on my own. So that's why I want to help you guys. The guys who just want to improve, they don't know where to start, what to study, what opening to play. And it's a challenging thing. And a lot of people don't give you the right answer. So that's what I'm here to do. To give you guys the correct information. To give you guys the chance that I never had to have a smooth chess improvement without any wrong information. Studying the correct courses, the correct books, the correct training plan. And the structure and what you study is very important. It's not just you study anything to get better. If you study just openings for 10,000 hours, you will not become any sort of master. It's what you study is very important. And one of the main points of the stream today, I wanted to play some Let's Talk with you guys, answer some questions. I was happy I was able to do that, help some of you guys. And I also wanted to give a preview of my upcoming course against Sicilian, and I got some games there, some nice wins in fact. So for you guys watching the stream, thank you very much. All right, I'm gonna close up there. So any last words from you guys? I'm here, but all right, thank you all for tuning in. And that was it for today. Be tuned, a new video will be dropping soon. My plan is I try to drop 5 shorts. So Mr. Monkey is asking, what's your favorite opening for white? Now, I like to play pawn to e4, and I've played it my whole life. And Bobby Fischer himself, which is one of my favorite players, he said pawn to e4 was the best by chess. And as an international master, the move pawn to e4 helped me to get a title. It's helped me win a lot of grandmasters. However, to be honest with you, my friend, these days in modern chess, you have to play more than one opening. So I do play the London system from time to time. I do play some lines in d4. But my heavily favorite is pawn e4 with white. Is there any specific opening you wanted to know? Is there anything else you want to know? Please let me know. Or did I answer your question, Mr. Monkey? So anyone that's new here, I'm a small content creator, and anyone who doesn't know me, I'm International Master Alan-Safar Ramoutar from the small island of Trinidad and Tobago. And I'm trying to help you guys with chess improvement here, to be your coach and give you guys the experience and training that I never had growing up in a small island of Trinidad and Tobago. So for anyone that's new here, I appreciate the subscribing, liking, and drop a comment. I will always answer your question. You know, it doesn't take much from me. But alright guys, really I have to go there. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, as I said, please subscribe. Stay tuned and always keep growing and improving your chess, guys. See you all.